assume everybody's able to wait. Okay, I want to double check something. Trent and I were trying to fix an audio situation. I hope I'm not being doubled. 1 second.
Always the audio situation.
Did OBS do a thing again?
No, it's not OBS did a thing. Is because we're trying to go over to the Tailspire. You can't hear the audio I would like on Tailspire, so what we had to do is pretty much make a virtual microphone, and then that virtual microphone that I'm speaking to is also what you guys hear. The bad side of it is that I hear myself, so there's an echo when I speak only. It's not recorded, but I wanted to confirm live on Twitch that it's not being recorded. That is all. But hey, everybody! Hey, welcome to our ReRoll podcast, where we talk about things. This week specifically, we're talking about one of the coolest bros I've ever known in my entire life. It's a Vic.
Who's that?
That's,
what?
Hey, which, I mean, let's do it right now because I can. You're gonna be like 30, I think. How old are you? 29, 28? You're 25, right?
I am 1,100 years old.
He's gonna be 1,100 years old. I learned that you are no longer Baba in the NC family. It is now Trent because he's 24.
Oh my God! I am no longer the baby. Thank God.
You are no longer the baby.
He just turned 25. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe he's 25.
Who's
Okay.
the baby?
Finally, I'm free.
Trent is baby.
Finally, I am free.
The tallest member of our group is baby.
Yes.
Oh.
That's always member of DNC is the youngest one.
Yeah.
Of course.
How tall? Wait, no. How tall is Trent?
I can ask him, but he's pretty. I think he's taller than Dickie. I think I could ask.
Okay.
My
dad thinks like 6'6", so
Okay, let me ask real fast.
he's literally as tall as Dis,
Yes, he is. That's true.
minus the horns.
Minus.
Yeah, Dis's height is not. His horns aren't in it because that's cheating.
Yeah, 6 feet 6 inches and 6 centimeters, right?
Exactly. That's exactly how it is. I'm not asking Trent right now.
Okay.
Not at all. What that clicking noise is nothing.
Oh, what clicking noises?
Yeah. So let's introduce who's here on this beautiful podcast. We have, of course, a Jeremiah, myself. We have Tabitha, Dickie, and Bick. How is everybody? How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
Excellent and good.
It's a Monday.
I'm
It's a
alive.
Monday. Hey, being alive sometimes is better than not being alive. Only sometimes.
Another day of being alive and spiting God.
Oh God.
Oh, that you have no idea how
no
truthful
idea.
that is right now. Oh, sounds like we have stories to tell. Hey,
God,
yo.
let me live another day. Therefore, it is time to make it everyone's problem.
Yeah, I just had an in-long conversation about things. Let's not have that subject right now. It's gonna open a floodgate. But glad everyone's well. How's everyone in chat? Please tell me what you did this weekend. Let me know. I'm not eavesdropping. I'm just curious. It's not being nosy. It's being friendly. But so we our Rise of Tiamat game. I love the spooky vibes that we're in. The yeah, it moves so much. The Arthur game, we're still. I'm very surprised of how much pain the group is willing to take to avoid killing. It's it's cool. It's a very different situation, which we can discuss the whole thing about, like, how these games are inherently just there's a lot of killing, and there should be an issue with that. But you know,
Yeah, I noticed that with Monday's group too. How much they're willing to take the pacifist route in order to avoid bloodshed.
yeah, I mean, you have
Turning a monster into a fish and tucking it into bed, then running as fast as you can.
that,
That was let's figure out the quickest way to get the hell out.
yeah, that was a
That was patience looking, going absolutely not, and leaving.
Hey, the apple doesn't fall far from this tree, obviously.
there's
Shut up. I know what that means.
every single campaign has their story. I think us polymorphing this horrific I forgot what they're called, the bee dudes. Oh, Dickie, you are taller than Trent by 1 inch. He is 6'4". Oh, 2 inches, sorry, 2 inches.
There you go. I can post them up.
There we go. Dickie
And
still has
Dickie
the
is now
crown.
the reigning champion of the tallest and the oldest.
There you go.
Multiple titles. All right. Go to bed. Not you guys. That's for puppers. And then
yelling at the dogs to go to bed.
we're starting 2 new games this week. We're going to start our technically not start. We're doing session 0. And it's only going to be live for Patreon and for those who subscribe on Twitch. And we won't put it anywhere else. So if you want to see how we do session 0 and character creation process, that's the only time. That's it. It's going to be gone forever. And then, so we're doing a character creation in session 0 for our Star Wars campaign, which is going to be this different palette. I think that's how I'm going to explain it, because I know nothing about Star Wars, and y'all
Games in
know a
space.
lot.
I know very little about Star Wars, but I've had someone.
Yeah, I don't think we know.
currently-
I don't know anything about Star Wars. Do you, Jeremiah?
No. What Star Trek Wars? What?
The Star Trek game, right?
Trek Wars.
Wait, hold up. That actually sounds fun.
Um,
Wait a minute. Let's play a Star Trek campaign.
I would not
Now
mind
you
a Star
do
Trek.
know that they do have a role-playing game called
That I
Stargate.
know nothing about.
Oh,
Oh,
Stargate. Let's
yeah.
play Stargate.
Stargate
Yes.
Stargate has not as much
Oh,
love as
Fuck
it
yes, I
should.
love Stargate.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, we'll do that on Friday, and then Sunday we're going to have our first session of Villain Vigilantes, which is a new show that we're starting, where Dickie's GMing, and it's going to be classic throwbacks, where we play a whole bunch of games that are not Dungeons and Dragons, and that are just older systems that should be brought to the foreground because they're amazing. And we're
Because they
gonna
were collecting dust. We need to get them out there.
Dickie
Hey,
with just spring cleaning. He's like, "Hey, I have an idea for a show."
There you go.
Yes. So that's how that's what we're doing with RPGs at the moment.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah. What's up?
I think because we have an important life update that happened this past week.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
We
what's up?
absolutely do. Hey, Dad, you want to talk about it?
Yes, and today the shit got even real. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, I'll let you know about that. It just showed up, and I'm still looking at it, going like, "Holy shit, it's here!"
Oh wow.
I published a book last Sunday, and so far, people that have read it have been very positive towards it, stuff like that. There are some mistakes in there I have found out, and I have sent it to my publisher for corrections.
Okay.
The name of the book is Survivors of the Mutant Dawn. If you're into Gamma World, then it's got a certain twist towards that. And today, I received a letter from the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and I hold in my hand the certificate of registration for my book.
That's cool.
So I'm official now.
That's so cool.
That's amazing, dude. I'm so happy. That's awesome.
Yeah, because everybody would say, "Oh, you wrote a book. That's so wonderful." And I'm just kind of like, "Well, yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. You know, Vic will tell you how long I've been doing this thing, and it's the story was originally originally one, which is going to be my second book. Then it became two stories in one, and then my publisher had the idea, why don't you split it in two? And so this is my beginning version of the story, and it will continue on.
I'm so excited to read it.
When you get to the later chapters, then you're going to get an idea, in a sense, how Gamma World is. So that way you get an idea.
This is going to be the
preview. We can
preview.
go from there.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, I mean, so far so good. I even got people asking me for autographs, and I'm like, okay,
you were legit
cool.
now.
That's so
yeah,
cool.
We're getting too weird about this now, folks. But they're just friends. They just need an autograph. In case I die and it makes a movie, and then they say, "Oh, I got a book."
I was gonna ask that exact question. So, Dickie, when are you gonna release the rights for the movie?
Oh God, don't even say that word.
No.
I'll just show up to your house and I'll sign it. Boom, that's it. Because okay, the real reason I can't have a book signing is because I'm under contract with Amazon for the next 3 months. So therefore, all books have to come from people making orders of that. In order for me to have a book signing, I have to go to a different publisher, and I have to buy a whole bunch of books from them.
Oh, okay.
And therefore, I can do a book signing, but people have to buy the book. And if they don't buy the books, then I'm like those other schmucks that's got the whole garage full of books.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Since I'm starting out, and by the way, just to let you know, if you want an ebook, ebooks are $2.99, and the paperback is $10.99.
Yeah. Exciting.
I like paperbacks.
Yeah, paperbacks for sure. I have a Kindle. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. Champ,
do you want a paperback too?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to my two brothers there that bought the book and showed it off on Facebook. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It needs to be shown everywhere. We even got people on TikTok advertising for it. I know our
you got people on TikTok talking about it. It's pretty cool.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you the video in a minute.
Give me that stuff. I got to see that. And then also, Jesus, I need the link for our classic throwback game, because I'm going to go to the Villains and Vigilante pages on Facebook and bringing it up. And I'm also going to contact the one that created the game, let him know we're doing it.
Yeah,
and
I'll send all the information.
And see what kind of feedback we can get from people.
Yeah, the YouTube link won't be made until like a week after the first episode, but we'll give you all that information when time comes.
Right.
Yeah, as you can see, y'all, there's so much happening, and that's just with the role playing stuff.
Yeah.
Soon, more Let's Plays are being made. We're also going to. I have an idea to be able to do more film podcasts, and take less time from everyone's life, and then do more personal projects at home, because the studio's open, and we can see each other. It's all about just pinpointing schedules correctly and tweaking those gears and those cogs.
Yes.
Yeah, but hey, Vic. Are you nervous?
What? Sorry, I'm reading the Twitch chat right now. Shortbeard VA says, Dad, if you need a narrator for the audiobook, just give him a ring.
Oh.
Well, really?
I will absolutely vouch for his voice acting skills. He is fantastic.
We'll agree with that statement.
Ask my publisher about, what do we got to do to get an audiobook?
Yep.
That's cool. That's so cool.
He actually did a while back. He did a reading of I think it was like a Discworld book on Twitch, and very nice to listen to.
Yeah, his voice is chef's kiss.
Yeah, I have to also get into some competitions too, some writers competitions to get more publicity going. Plus, I got to find out some more marketing. So if anybody's got any marketing ideas, spit them out. I'm ready for them.
All right,
Awesome.
we'll do. We'll brainstorm this. We'll have a meeting, as they say.
All right, enough of me deflecting.
Hey, hey Tabitha. Tabitha, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I think you have the first question.
Oh crap! Hold on, let me get to it.
It's only posted on.
You don't remember the one question you wrote?
You know,
It was like half
it's
a
been
year
a few
ago.
months when I wrote these.
In all fairness, I barely remember what I did today, so valid.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
valid.
Vic, even though I know a lot about you,
What? Who are you?
if you could have a familiar, what would it be?
Yeah, that's Champ. No questions asked.
That's awesome. I
should have known.
agree with that.
It would be Champ. Absolutely.
Champ is your Patronus.
He is my Patronus. Actually, my Patronus, as I took the quiz, is a ginger tabby cat, and I
Oh.
will stay with that one.
Cool.
So it's true.
I think we
He's
can
a
all,
champagne tabby. Thank you.
I think we can all agree that we're all big enough nerds that we've all taken that quiz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mine's a peacock.
Oh,
Mine's a badger.
mine's an Irish wolfhound. But anywho,
It's not about us.
it's not about us,
I
it's
mean,
about
yeah.
Vic. It's not deflecting, Vic.
God damn it.
Here's a couple questions from Lynn.
No.
Which one of these? I think we're gonna see that situation when we do the Sick Roll Chronicles. But here's the question:
No.
if your character survives to the very end, what would be the best case scenario for them after the campaign is complete?
Huh. Yeah.
No.
So the funny part about with West, I think the answer that I get from West is, to be honest, I didn't expect it to make it this far.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where he did die, and I was like, oh, okay, that's it. I guess I'm going to roll up Stranger for the next session.
Oh God.
Can you imagine how different Sacred World would be if Stranger finished off the campaign instead of West?
It would be a much more chaotic game for sure. I feel Stranger, Addy, and pretty much Oleg
Can you
would
imagine
get into
Druid-Con?
every single like here's a bad idea, let's do it.
I think Ragnar would have his designated trash man that would just collect random stuff that he either stole or found and just hand it to him and be like, here, you can use that. You can use that too.
Did you mean
Oh.
Stranger looking at Cole and just being like, "You'll be me in 30 years"?
Absolutely. Yes.
Vic.
No, but yes.
I'm going to let you know that I went to the Death Museum in New Orleans, and there was legitimately a jar of teeth, and I wanted to take a picture so bad, but there was no photography allowed. Like a jar full of human teeth, and I was like, oh,
He's here. Okay.
I sense.
Was there a note saying Stranger was here?
No, but I would feel that Stranger would be the perfect person to do the tour at the Death Museum.
And here is my prize collection of teeth. They are all assorted from different eras. The one on, and he'll like just point to a random one. That one's my favorite.
Molar.
Yeah, no, but
Every
with
tour is
West.
different. It's pointing at the different one.
And that one is a tourist who asked me too many questions. But yeah, no. So
Next-
West.
yeah, Wes, what's up?
The best, I guess, best case scenario for West is more or less how I. It's funny because that's how I play him as an NPC in Rise of Tiamat. The best case scenario is him finding a means of like doing something for himself by like opening up this like tavern business and like having his best friend with him
Yeah.
and yeah, kind of raising the kids as well.
That's true. That's true. He's
Traveling every now and then back to DruidCon, kind of learning a little bit more about his druidic heritage and just learning to heal from the past and genuinely be happy for once.
Yeah, that's a hard hill to climb sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, Harry?
So what you're saying is we still have to bust Carabao.
Yeah, we're gonna bust his ass out of Mount Celestial. Thank you.
Adding it to the list of one-shots.
Where it's a jailbreak.
Yep, it's a jailbreak game.
We're gonna literally like bust through the gates, and they'll be like, "You can have him. He keeps stealing our things."
We kept running out of cabbages.
Oh my god.
He keeps yelling penis really loud in the...
He keeps stealing penis in the chapels. We can't get him to stop.
Oh man. So, because of quarantine, how has playing through the computer affected your RP versus like when we stood it in here? Since Rise is all online anyway, and Sacred World is going to remain online. Yeah. How does it feel DMing and playing online versus like physical?
I actually have found that I do, in a way, prefer it because it's kind of helped me stay connected through our games after having to leave Houston, move to San Antonio to follow my, culinary career.
Yeah.
And not knowing how long I'm going to stay here or where I go from here. I do like... I did like the transition to Roll20 because it was a lot easier audio-wise for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're sitting on Skype in a room while all this terrain and stuff is happening, you only have one specific angle to look at.
Yeah, that's true. It's
so much, I guess, for the microphone at times.
Yeah, that's also true. It's
yeah.
It's just better when everyone sees the same angle.
Yeah, it definitely does help. I do miss playing at the table with all of y'all, but I did like the opportunities that online playing has brought us because I got the chance to play with my best friends and then also my best friends from across the America.
Yeah, which
I never am gonna forgive you guys for sneaking Lynn onto Sacred World.
Yeah, I do like the idea that our Friday games because there's more surprises to be had, but might be nationwide. I'll just leave it with that.
Oh boy.
I'll just
yeah, I definitely liked building campaigns better on online as a DM than like trying to figure out how I'm gonna build my terrain like an hour before I get to the studio.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you come to the studio more often than just an hour before a game. Okay, so last question from Lynn. What is the most intense moment your character has experienced in the game that actually has affected you IRL?
In real life.
In IRL, not
in the IRL. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Yes.
That was when Carabao sacrificed himself to help us escape the Underdark.
What? What are you talking about?
Because, oh my god, I remember sitting there like on the couch, having to be muted for this whole moment, and I was just yelling so angrily. I'm like, "Don't you fucking do it, you son of a bitch! You fuck ass motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you!"
I mean, it was good that at that time you were in San Antonio already, and you weren't there anymore to actually strike me.
I would have chased your ass out of the room. Oh my god, I would have kicked your ass in real life.
Yeah.
It was really such a good moment. Like, and I guess being online definitely kind of helped with that feeling of helplessness because you're not realizing what's happening, or you realize what's happening, but there's nothing you can do to stop it as it happens, which definitely fits the moment, I feel.
Yeah.
And I remember like the next day we had to drive back to Houston, I think. And we actually I think we were sitting in the car and it was just intense silence the whole ride through because it's like we were literally processing a death.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how these games are sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you get so attached to these characters that when they die, it's not the same as a family member or a loved one, but you're still losing somebody important to you, even though they're fictional. Hey, Jeremiah.
Oh, that's me now.
It is you.
Same question for everyone. If you can reimagine one or all your characters in D&D character, change his race, class, and what would it be, and why?
I think you made art.
No change is also unacceptable.
Okay, unacceptable. All right, so I can't use Wes because he's already a grab bag of multi-class.
Oh,
That's funny.
Uh,
Can you imagine Wes being a paladin?
No.
Actually, there was a meme that was posted on the Alistair Discord that made me think of West as a paladin.
Oh, really?
Let me find it real quick. It's really funny.
Like, do tell.
Hold on. It's it's called. His name is Sir Wreck Your Shit, or Reese for short. And his occupation, knight. Weapon, what God gave him. Fighting style, just fucking decks you. Which I think is absolutely. Oh, sorry, microphone. Is absolutely appropriate for West as a paladin.
I see all these working so perfectly.
Oh my god, oh man. I'm trying to think of another D&C character I have, other than my good boy Xavier.
Yeah.
Who, I actually have drawn. It's funny because like with West and Xavier, I have drawn them as like different D&D races just to see what they would look like. I have a whole sheet for West, and the elf one always looks strange to me because the beard is just gone, and I'm like, no, it's incorrect.
I do like the Luxodon version.
The Luxodon one's cute. Yeah,
he looks like a woolly mammoth.
Yeah. I personally like his orc version.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that was an idea at one point. I think I contemplated the idea of making West an orc at the start of Sacred World. I think like when I was like coming up with West as a concept, it was just like I had like maybe like a week to put them together, and I was just like, I'm like, all right, what do you need? And Jesus was like, I don't know, don't do that. We have this, and this. Play whatever you want. And I'm like, yeah, but what do you need? Rubber DM in me. It's like, but team balance.
Yeah, team balance.
Team balance. They're like, well, we have the barbarian, but they're this class. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll do full tank. Let's go with that.
That's Stranger.
Stranger, I can't imagine as anything other than a cryptid.
Yeah.
He just works the way he does.
Can you imagine him being a bard? Just like, let me tell you a joke.
A stranger bard.
It's funny because his original concept as a warlock, he was packed at the tome, which allowed him to have some extra like spells from other classes, and Vicious Mockery was one of them.
That makes sense.
Just because I needed him to have it. Like
stranger mixed with Laz would be a terribly dangerous combination. Entertaining,
also,
but terribly dangerous.
Originally had the actor feat.
Oh.
He did.
He had the actor feat, so he would just constantly like, and he always had the warlock feature where he can just like pop a disguised self without wasting a spell slot. Oh, the trouble he got into.
All right, so after your me is a me. Okay, so I have a question that could it be a loaded gun or could it be simple as one or two words. But hey, Vic, how should, from your perspective and walk of life, how should others do representation? Do you think they should do it at all? Do they should try? Do you have any personal stories that you would want to say out loud for the world and the internet forever to hear and can never be unsaid because it is on the internet forever now?
It's on the internet forever and ever. I think that it's always good to try. It's good to have representation. I think that's really important. Like regardless, like, and like as far as like I guess like people who aren't from that walk of life, trying to tell that story for someone else, that might not be the best thing to do. You should always have somebody, if this makes sense, somebody of that particular walk of life have a say in what you're creating or writing. That way you have that voice to kind of give you insight, you know, without you, like, because there's always going to be like I'm trying to think how to word this.
Remember, forever.
Look at Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just
look at Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, yeah. So here you have, you know, a movie that was based off of a Japanese, you know, piece of media. And, you know, they had every opportunity to have it true to its source material, but they chose, you know, movie producers, as they do, chose to not do that. Because money. Because big name actors and actresses mean money. And, you know, we don't want to give people the chance to, like, have breakout roles. We want to use people that will give us money.
Yeah. That was the exact quote on the, frick, what was the name of the movie? A movie about Egyptian gods that came out. I forgot what it was called. And why that Liam Neeson actor, I forget his name, was the main character.
Liam
Neeson's. No, not Liam Neeson. 300 dude. I forget his name.
Gerard Butler.
Yes, that guy. Butler. Yeah. Where it was like, well, if we hire someone that's actually from Egypt, you won't know his name. You will know Gerard Butler. So we hired him as the main character.
Side note about Gerard Butler, he made a fascinating movie. It's kind of small, and people didn't pay attention to it. It's called Timeline.
Okay.
Which is about time travel, which is very good.
Cool.
He is very good in it.
Oh, awesome.
Also has that guy that died that was in Fast and Furious.
Okay, gotcha. Rudd.
Never watched a single Fast and Furious movie.
They're in space
Same
now.
here.
Yeah, no, I think that that should be...
No, you've got a good point. Like with that movie with Gerard Butler and the Gods of Egypt, and then you have a movie like The Mummy.
Yeah.
The latest one, not the one that was before that.
Oh yeah, the
one before that was better.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that is not the Tom Cruise one.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon Fraser.
Yeah, like here you have actors that actually, you know, basically represent that, you know. Anyway.
Brandon Fraser is a treasure.
I fucking love Brandon Fraser so much.
But to piggyback on your comment, which I also agree, representation is good. People shouldn't. It's a game, right? This is for fun, and if you're not having fun at the table, then something should change, or you shouldn't do it. Like, you shouldn't be forced to be put into this position.
Oh no, like for sure. Like if you're playing like for a D&D game, if you wanted to try out playing, you know, a character a certain way, like under a certain identity or like a certain backstory, like that's always, I feel that's a good way to explore and just. In a good way to also like learn new things, new concepts, new like perspectives for sure. Like always try something new at the table.
And as long as you come from a place of understanding and love, and not
understanding love and just wanting to learn.
Yes, and not just as a trope. Then like
not as a trope. Not as.
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
No, I was saying not as a trope, not as. Because I have dealt with people that have wanted to play characters a specific way, but only as a means for attention, only as a means of, look, I'm so progressive, when truthfully they weren't. Like they were just doing it as a, here's my free pass to prove to you I am better than, you know, people who are openly bigoted. Which is a really garbage way to put it, but you know. What you're saying, Dad?
Well, I was going to say that, you know, I think playing different characters, you learn a lot about yourself as well as, you know, the characters you're playing. Case in point, I played two characters that were the strong silent type, and brooding and type like that, but they, there's not much you can do with them, except fight, and that was it. And probably having Orc Death, who was probably the most colorful character I ever had, who was constantly drunk and constantly talking and constantly acting.
Starting brawl fights.
Yeah, there you
He's
go.
the guy you want to talk to at the bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think such things like as representation in the game is fun. As an example, a thing that I have very fresh in my mind because I literally experienced this yesterday. So my girlfriend unfortunately got sick and had to be wheelchair bound for the day. And New Orleans is not the streets, because it's such an old town. It's not super friendly to wheelchairs. It's really not. Which makes me think of that whole controversy when they introduced a miniature that was like an adventure on a wheelchair, and like Roll20, you can have a character be on a wheelchair, and people were complaining and raging how unrealistic this would be. You would never be able to go to a dungeon in a wheelchair. I'm like, yeah, so fuck what? Like,
It's a fantasy game with elves and dragons.
yeah, and dragons don't
You're gonna
exist.
let a
Yeah.
wheelchair break your suspense of belief.
Yeah, like, I mean, just because the Sith Lord has a Jamaican accent does not mean that it's going to break your disbelief of the entire Star Wars universe. Like, Jar Jar Binks is... can't...
Well, it's like the movie Green Hornet.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rogen was going to get Nicolas Cage to be the villain, but he wanted to be a white guy that talked Jamaican. And that kind of... Yeah, so it kind of killed that job
when you're obviously like just in talking about representation, like if you want a Jamaican individual to be casted, you should just hire a Jamaican person. Like there's one of my favorite actors, which I'm running blank on his name. My favorite role that he's ever been was Luigi. Yeah, he's a Mexican man, and when he started out in Hollywood, he's like, all right, this is the role. So he auditioned, and they said, oh no, like you're not fit for the part. Like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, please give me pointers. I want to succeed in this acting career. So like, please tell me what I did wrong. Oh, you weren't Mexican enough. What do you mean I wasn't Mexican enough? I am Mexican. No, you don't sound Mexican. You don't look Mexican enough. So he portrayed a very racist stereotype of it, and like that's what we wanted the movie. And like that's obviously the negative aspect of like what you could do, what you were talking about, just but putting it in your game where it's imaginary base, you're not doing blackface, you're shedding light to these things. And trying to be this cool reptilian creature who maybe doesn't have one eye or maybe can't hear well, and like introducing other things like when I was writing Stoon, Stoon was supposed to be one of out of many from T's past, a relationship. Stoon was originally, like, as I was writing, female. But the more and more I wrote Stoon's backstory, and the more I was trying to get into my head, like, Stoon wouldn't be she, they would be they. And it's those type of things. I really feel that those are, like, a positive light into representation, even though I do not identify as they, them.
Yeah.
So, is that a positive thing from your perspective, Vic?
I mean, yeah, I would think that, through, see, like, God, words are hard. Exploring, like, these stories and, like, having more exposure to these stories and learning, through them, it definitely does help, like, people's perspectives and helping to tell more honest stories and arcs that aren't based around specific like stereotypes. Like, for instance, having a transgender character in a show or a piece of media, and that entire plot point for that character has to be about their transition. You can't just have a trans character just existing and doing something else. It has to always be about their identity. It has to be about all of the trauma that they face through transitioning, and oh my god, their parents hate them, they disowned them, they threw them out of the house. It's always that. It's never, hey, here's a character who's just on an adventure and just happens to be trans. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's like saying this person has blonde hair or red hair. That's just a thing. Doesn't identify. That shouldn't be their only fucking thing for their character.
Yeah, no, I would say, you know, having more representation that's like not like you can. I mean, it's good to have stories that shed light on certain topics and subjects, but also having, you know, characters of different walks of life, you know, existing and just going on an adventure together definitely, you know, it helps normalize things, as awful as that is to say.
Yeah, no.
It makes it more common to see these different people of like race and identity and etc. like just existing in a show or a game. Because I know for a fact that helped me write my story a lot. Because if you look at, like, because I started writing this in, like, middle school. I was, like, 13 years old. I was writing this story. And looking back at, like, the first time I conceptualized these characters to right now, they are so different. They're so much more, like, the cast is, like, so much more diverse. Their storylines are all, you know, different from where they started, basically. So yeah, I think representation definitely is a good thing to explore, as long as you're not being an ignorant asshole using it as a free pass to look cool.
And I haven't seen this episode, so like I don't really know terribly too much about it. But even for like allies, like the last episode of Critical Role, apparently. I think Matt had to publicly say, yes, these two got together. And everyone was like, wow, how could these two gay men not be together? And I read an interesting story about it, which is like, hey, don't let your pseudo fantasies interpret the story. Just because these two characters in that story are gay does not mean that they're going to end up together, nor do they like each other. Just because they're gay, like
yeah, I have a lot of complex feelings and words to say about like fandom spaces and how they interact with like online media like this. The quickest way for me to sum it up without diving into a whole other subject about this is definitely look up parasocial relationships, because that is essentially what that is to me.
Okay, yeah. That's a new term that I will look up after. You guys should do your.
It'll make so much more sense once you like start looking into that, because it definitely covers fandom as a whole.
All right, cool. Here's your daily homework from Vic.
Here's your daily homework. Go look at parasocial relationships and see how online community has essentially created this entire new norm. Anyway.
Could it be described as Supernatural's episode of Sam and Dean when they found their fan fiction and they're like, but we're brothers? Like, they don't care.
I have way more notes on Supernatural, and we do not need to get into it.
We're going to start a separate podcast, the Supernatural podcast.
We're going to branch off on this podcast and just debate Supernatural as a content.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. So, hey, these are from Jess. What would Wes's reaction be to meeting Neff?
Because I'm sad that this never happened in the past two battle royales, you know. Because I know Jess and I like hyped up West and Neff meeting in the first battle royale, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, okay.
This next battle royale is going to be like cooperative, like gameplay, so maybe we can redo it.
Maybe we'll see.
West had a target, that's why he wasn't.
West did have a target, you motherfucker. So, the first thing that pops in my head when I think of West meeting Neff. It's like when two giant dogs meet for the first time across the room. They just like walk in and they stop and they stare. There's like 30 seconds of silence. And then one of them moves and then all the furniture starts flying.
So giant dog, we're talking about like Saint Bernard and a Dane here, or what?
Yeah, so I
This is
see
important.
Neff. I see Neff more as a. I think Neff's more like a Pyrenees. I feel
Oh, okay.
big, giant, and fluffy, basically. And what was it? I had somebody tell me. I think one of our bros on the Alistair Discord, Jason, described West perfectly to me because. Let's see. Okay, West is a Newfoundland. Was what I was told.
Yes, I can see that.
I'm like, that's correct. That absolutely tracks.
That tracks. He's like, you have hammer. You have hammer.
You have hammer.
You do good.
And then whatever little brain cells were in those heads of those little pea brain heads of theirs just empties. And it's just stupid shit all throughout the rest of the day.
Knowing as a GM, knowing like the stats and like the character built and everything, it's so incredibly scary to say that this 17-year-old girl not only matches West in strength,
yes,
but is canonly has higher HP than him.
Yep,
it's terrifying.
Being lower level.
And, and
I think Wes would be very excited to meet somebody who can also give him the biggest like bear hug.
Yeah, it's like,
they would just be like they would be like competing over who gives the strongest hug.
Yeah, for sure. Moving to Jess's second question, how do you make up characters in your mind? I know you're also writing, so like what's the process? Like, do you have different ones between like D&D, like your characters that you play as a player, NPCs, and like your characters from your own stories?
As far as D&D goes, a lot of my character building goes based off of, like I will say for West, it has been like from day one, it had always been, all right, what does the party need? And that actually kind of helped shape him as a person, because I had a week to come up with West. I was like, all right, human, barbarian. All right, roll the stats. Here you go. Here are my stats. Yes, I know he's really smart for a barbarian. I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry. He's so well-rounded. And that's
interesting to hear.
What?
That you basically thought, what does the group need? Because every time that when Reefer got turned into stone, I asked Jesus, what do you need?
Yeah.
What can I do to feel? And he told me, okay, I need this kind. Okay. So I go to the files, I pull one out. And then after those two left, I say, okay, what do you need? So basically, I do the same exact thing. Whatever the need of the group is more important than what type of character I choose.
I think that's DM mentality too. You're thinking of balancing the party at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I think, in a way that kind of helped shape West as a character, because I had like no personality, no nothing for this guy. Like when I was walking into like session 0, and I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to play this dude at all. And I had like, I guess like an idea. I'm like, I'm just going to play him kind of aloof. He doesn't know anybody. We'll figure it out as we go. And then Cowbell walked in and everything just went out the window. But I guess it kind of, in a way, like his concept itself shaped who he was as a character, because West very much became a character of, oh, you need help? I'm here. I will do this thing for you. I'm here to help. I'm here to fix the problem. But, oh man. As far as like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to break down how I make characters, because they just kind of appear whenever I need them. So it's like, all right, all right, I need a character for this specific thing. All right, I think the first thing I come up with is like appearance, and then I find a name somehow.
I think it's also storyline. You think about storyline, then you think about what does I need to balance this story out, and then you got to figure out what type of characters will fit into that role.
Yeah, I definitely think in the mindset of a writer, where I'm like, all right, we have main character. I need a foil for this character. I need antagonist. I need side supporting character, and like I just have all these like thoughts of how to play them. Like I know for later down the line with Age of Maya, I'm like strategizing how I'm going to play this new character of mine, because it's a very different like class than what I'm used to playing.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
It's going to take so much brain power.
I mean, it's like writing for me. When I start writing a story, I'll write a situation, and then I'll get to a certain situation. Oh, that is really cool. And then I have to look at it and go like, oh shit, what are the consequences of what they just did? Then you got to think about all the different possibilities of consequences. Then you got to think about, okay, what characters do I need to fill in those consequences with? So that's another way you can develop characters. It's just basically what situations you're getting into and what situations you're progressing through.
Yeah, more or less. And I guess like in a way, like especially with coming up with D&D characters, because these are characters that I'm going to be like embodying and like playing through. Whenever I have like holes in a character, I kind of find myself picking bits of myself and putting it into that character to kind of like flesh them out a little more and see where they go. So.
All right. Last question from Jess, which is, what celebrity would you want to meet, and why?
Oh man.
Well, it's supposed to be what celebrity would you want to be your BFF and why?
Man, I don't know celebrities. This is hard. I mean, I guess I'm already friends with some internet celebrities, and they're pretty fucking cool, I guess.
Yeah, internet celebrities are still celebrities.
Yeah.
That works.
I don't know. I think that that short beard guy on TikTok's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool to meet that guy.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, I guess if we're talking like Hollywood celebrities, I don't know. Ever since watching the Hot Ones interview, I really want to just talk to Paul Rudd. Just talk to him. He seems like such a cool guy to hang out with.
Did I just hear Tabitha laugh from across the room?
You know where he's from originally, right? He's from Kansas City.
Okay.
And when the Kansas City Royals won the championship,
I was about to say, Clueless.
He was there and they interviewed him. He goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a cake party at my mom's house. Everybody come over." And he was just joking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, everybody started going to his mom's house looking for a cake.
Oh, I love this
god, that's hilarious.
That is the most Paul Rudd thing. I love it.
That's pretty funny.
He's so cool.
That's really, really funny to
me. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Paul Rudd. Okay.
Paul Rudd.
Cool,
I like that, man.
Cool.
Paul Rudd, everybody.
Paul Rudd. Thank you for joining us on this podcast tonight.
There you go.
Hey, Jeremiah. Spot for us. Yes, of course. Hey, Jeremiah. Would you read the next 3 questions for no particular reason whatsoever?
Well, these questions are from Lee, but what's your darkest secret?
My darkest secret, or
I think this is for one or all your characters.
One or all of my characters. Oh, I have
something
one,
that you can share. Something that you can share.
What's West's darkest secret? What's West's darkest secret?
Something that will not break
the whole fucking time. No. Oh,
West's darkest... you can read.
This whole fucking time you knew how to read, you asshole. No. Oh wow, I don't. This is hard to think about because like West is just very off the cuff. He just. He's an open book. He'll say whatever's on his mind, and
he can't lie.
He can't lie very well. Although I will say, let me see. Now I'm gonna think of a dark secret for Wes, and it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna have to make one up.
Because I mean, it's funny because his dark secret is not much of a dark secret because he just openly talks to the guy in his head all the time.
Yeah,
out loud.
Even though the guy in his head's just like, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that in public," I think, and then he's just like, it's whatever. Everybody stares at him. His darkest secret is
Yes.
thinking. Hold on.
He wants to not prep before a meal.
He went to bed.
He he forgot to mise en place one time.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
He baked a cake and he didn't weigh out the ingredients.
That bastard.
Did he use cups?
He used cups.
That
It's
bastard.
his darkest secret.
That was his darkest secret. Okay. But the bread turned out really good anyway.
The bread still came out okay. It's not to his standard, which is fine, but like, you know, nobody else could tell.
So dark, so secret.
So dark. What motivates you to fight on even?
I'm getting like guilted by Aurea right now in DMs. Because I hear Aurea's voice going, "Are you sure it's not taking up, you know, having a habit of alcohol and doing underground fighting and lying to your mother about it?" No. Let me cover my ears real quick. All right. I get this is still a character question, or?
I believe so. Yeah. Or
Okay.
It can be you. However you want to take it.
Well, for West, I'm gonna say what motivates you to fight fight on even against insurmountable odds. For West, it's the fact of he doesn't want anyone to get hurt, and he feels that he needs to take that pain from people.
Mm-hmm.
So, for West, it's dealing with the whole background of having dealt with like an immense loss in his life, and he doesn't want anyone to experience that loss. So he does everything he can to make sure that people at the end of the day can smile, even if he can't.
Oh.
For me, I'm gonna say 90% of my life it's spite.
Perfect.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I'm gonna love this new character for Age of Maya. He's like the closest to me as a trash fire as possible, and it's gonna be great.
In case anybody wants to do this for their Star Wars character, I do have a homebrew personality, virtues and vices. In case you want to have a problem or want to develop something in your character, let me know.
Oh,
Got
nice.
you covered.
Interesting.
My
Cool.
character's too edgy.
Got it.
He's a little edgy. I'm sorry.
A little. A little.
No, I'm talking about my Star Wars character.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Maya.
I mean, yes, that as well.
I was gonna say.
Now, I believe this is a Vic question, but what
Oh.
do you do to cheer yourself up when you're having a bad day?
If you're happy today, you know it, clap your hands.
He doesn't let us know about it until it's too late
Um,
to find out about it because Lynn tells me
what?
nothing.
No, what'd you say?
What?
Nothing.
Well, no, what did you say?
Did you?
I honestly didn't hear you. My auditory was not processing
Okay.
very well.
That he doesn't tell us, and we have to find out about it through Lynn.
Oh God.
Me.
Well, I don't tell Lynn everything. I'm not texting Lynn right now. What do I do to cheer myself when I'm having a bad day? I hug my dog. He makes
Works every
everything better.
time. Works every time.
I stare at his empty little face, and just
Yeah,
everything feels better.
doggos are good.
And then I
for that.
request cat pictures from people who own cats.
Doggos are good.
Dogs are good.
Dogs are amazing.
Yeah, doggos are the best. Therapy dogs, y'all. So this is from Ryan. In your opinion, as an experienced tiefling player, because now you were an experienced tiefling player.
I am an experienced tiefling player, honestly.
Yeah. What?
There's so many tieflings.
What makes a race so beloved by D&D players?
Well, Well, the fun answer is because they're gay. The actual answer is
We
I
get
think
it.
it has to do with
You're bi. You're a tiefling. We get it.
yeah. But you're bisexual, you're a tiefling. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Tabitha, you have 2 tieflings.
Shut up.
If I recall, when I first invited you to play 3.5 with me, your first character was a tiefling.
That was when I was first new to it. Like, I was like, oh, hey, this
felt the
looks
siren's
interesting.
call.
Why
It
not?
was your most
Sirens what
authentic
happened.
self coming out.
Yes. No, so... and she was a warlock. My gosh.
Gotcha.
With my entire flagship of tieflings. I think a lot of it has to do with... at least for some people, it's the draw of being the outcast, the other, the being, different and authentic and not quite getting that positive reception, which I'm glad that a lot of games are starting to move away from that racial prejudice against tieflings.
Yeah.
At least in a lot of the games that I've been playing. They've, like in my most recent one, I'm playing Zephyr. He is the most wholesome of boys. Big blue tiefling baby. And like the first thing my DM told me was like, yeah, any of that prejudice and stuff, I'm not doing this here. You are all welcome and wholesome and beautiful. So I was like, great, awesome. So yeah, I think it's just that they're just fun because you get that extra little zing of parental issues because of bloodline.
Okay.
It's like, daddy issues, I guess. I don't know.
Stop calling me out.
Oh, I'm calling you out, Tab. The tiefling cleric of Asmodeus.
Fuck you.
You really hit that one pretty. You went for a home run on that one.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And you call him dad.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
The backstory behind that is beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, no, I mean, as for me, I like playing tieflings because they're fun. Like you're basically a humanoid, but you get all the fun little like flavor quirks of like not being entirely human. Also, you get a tail, which is fucking cool.
Tails are very useful.
Tails are so useful. They can't hold weapons, but they're very useful.
Yeah.
Also, you get to it's like a custom character creator. You get to like choose your own horns. You get to choose your own color. You can go from technically the player handbook says from like natural skin tones to reds.
Yeah,
but we all ignore that.
Yeah, the original tieflings, I think, believe
there's
were
a
just,
whole
like,
rainbow
flails.
of tieflings in the internet.
I didn't ignore it. Mine was right.
Nerd.
You can also either give them hooves or peats.
Yeah, like I said, you can give them hooves, you can give them little cat paws, you can give them like whatever the hell you want. I have seen so many cool tiefling custom creations. Like there's like and like the Pathfinder ones are so cool. Like I know somebody on the Alistair Discord that made a tiefling that was of Oni blood, and that was fucking cool.
That's awesome. That's
yeah, it's so gnarly. Like she's like all plant looking. She has like a feather tail, and like her skin and blood are poisonous. It's fucking nuts. I know, she's so cool. Yeah, there's just so many fun little things you can do with tieflings.
Yeah, tieflings are.
I love my little fancy boy and his little spats in his hooves. He's so cute.
It's a little spat.
I was thinking about Mercy from the campaign that we're.
Mercy. We have a Grave Domain cleric who's a tiefling, and she's like ashen skin, just absolutely gorgeous. I love her.
Nice. So this is a modified question because I think either Ryan wrote this a long ass time ago, or he's not really too familiar with how Jimmy Doodles is ran. So instead of his question, what was y'all's decision into allowing the audience to request things for Demi Planes?
I would because Lynn's not here to speak on their behalf. So I will say on my end, I like audience involvement. I like reading off the Twitch chat and like asking them, hey, what do you think of this? How do you like this? And like we found a really nice rhythm with like having themed demiplane nights where it was like a choose your own adventure, and we would like have a concept for the audience, and we're like, so what do you think will happen next? And then we'll ask the audience to like roll a die or something, and then we pick from like a preset list that we made, and then we like start drawing based off that, which has been received very, very positively.
That's good.
So that's in my experience of on my side of things, I've definitely liked that form of taking requests, because it's a lot better than like, because I know there was a point where we were like taking like chat requests, and then like somebody who we never even knew would like drop in and they'll be like, draw my OC, and they would send us a DeviantArt link, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable clicking that link, and that's why I turned links off on Twitch. So
I'm not gonna give you free artwork.
I'm not. Yeah, no, that's not how this works. Sorry, we need to make a living.
Yeah.
Please pay your artist if you want art of your OC. Don't bother people for freebies. I've been in an entire Discord server where people would just like schmooze up to the artist just to get free art of their character, and it's just not an attractive look.
Yeah. Not at all. But hey, Dickie, you had some questions.
Yes, I do. What were your growing pains as a DM?
I know exactly why this question was asked.
You know exactly why.
I know exactly why this question was asked.
Yes, she does.
Oh my god.
She does.
Yeah. My first time like officially like DMing for people, I think the growing pains that I went through was having a problem player in my group.
The problem player.
The problem player, I will say. Who which I guess that was I don't want to say it was a good experience to have, but it was definitely an experience that helped me learn as a DM to work through difficult players that didn't really want to listen whenever the DM was telling them something.
That's lame.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was my first time DMing through Horde of the Dragon Queen, and I had Tab with me. I had Squidly, who's in chat, was with me, and we had this one player that from the get-go wanted to be difficult because he wanted to play a character, but his character was a Pathfinder character, and I was like, I'm not comfortable playing Pathfinder. I don't know the system. We're doing 5e. Can you please, you can convert your character over if you want. Like, I can help you with that. We can do it together, and that way it's better for the system. And it was just like, no, but I'm really attached to this character. I don't want to change his stats up. They're perfect the way they are. I'm like, I still need you to convert your character to a level 2 for this game.
Yeah.
And that should have been my warning sign that it was not going to be a good experience with that player, because they refused to do that. They gave me their character sheet, and the character sheet, they're at level 2, and I'm like, why do you have a 26 in intelligence? It's like, well, that's just how it rolled for me. I'm like, it's a 26. You shouldn't be over 20. We're at 20 at this level.
Level to 26.
26 intelligence for oh my god, it was such a mess. And
what did I keep telling you?
Kill his character off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah. There were some times where we got really close to it. Actually, it's funny. The one time we came to the I personally didn't want to kill a character off on purpose just to like put someone in their place. It seemed mean at the time. I know better now.
Hindsight 20.
That's right.
Hindsight 2020. It's funny though. Like, there was like so many times, and like the hard part about this character was he was so overpowered and unbalanced and completely broken. So I was having to like try to adjust the fights to like not make it seem like he was killing everything in the room without giving the rest of the players a chance to try.
Yeah.
So that made it increasingly difficult. And there was a point where the one time we actually came close to killing his character was on accident. And that was because it was actually in Castle Neritar in the swamp. There was and I kept this trap, just so you know, in our last game because I have nostalgia with it.
Yeah.
There's a trap in one of the rooms that is a wardrobe. And if you there's 2 wardrobes on either side of the room. And if you open the wrong wardrobe, it would have triggered a trap that would have sprayed vials of acid all over you and caused like an immense amount of acid damage.
Beautiful.
And they opened that wardrobe and they failed the perception check, or they didn't do any kind of check for it. They just like, I'm gonna open the wardrobe, and I'm like, okay. And then they opened the wardrobe, and this was actually Squidly's bard that opened the wardrobe. And I kept saying wardrobe repeatedly whenever she's like, I'm gonna go to this wardrobe. I'm like, all right, so you're going to the wardrobe. You're gonna open the wardrobe. You're opening the wardrobe. Okay. So I need you to make me a dex save.
Why does it I feel like that should have been my first clue when you mentioned the whole freaking bell in the center of the woods? Like,
what about the bell in the center of the woods?
Yeah, what about it? Yeah.
Anyway, so they open the wardrobe, acid starts to splash all over the room, and there was a point where I was calculating out the damage, and I knew that the damage output was way more than what he had for HP at the time because they had just come from a really hard encounter.
Oh yeah, we fought a
like,
young red dragon.
Yeah, y'all just fought a young red dragon, and that was fun. And he was like on death's door at that point, and I knew the damage output was like starting to max. But then he remembered, he's like, "Oh wait, I have a reaction. I'm gonna cast shield," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yep, that'll do anything.
That'll okay.
I understand panic reaction. Yeah, but like I won't do anything.
Yeah, okay, fine. Oh yeah, no, that's having to deal with the problem player that constantly fudged his rolls, didn't listen to the DM, argued with the DM whenever the DM was like, I need you to do this specific thing, having to question like things that were happening in the game as they were happening, like out of character, insulting characters out of character.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why a person who's
falling asleep at the table just because it was not his turn, never having any of his spells ready, even though he constantly preached that he was a wizard and he was the best wizard ever. Yeah, it was a whole...
Sounds like a good person. I want to meet.
Yeah, it was...
10 out of 10.
You know.
Yeah.
I avoid their booth at Runfest every year.
Oh, stories.
Yeah.
Oh. Things are clicking.
No, I don't think things are clicking in the way you think.
Okay, well then never mind. But we'll talk after. Hey, thank you. I believe you have one more question.
I do, sir. At what point of your gaming experience did you realize that RPGs were relatable to life? In other words, can you give me an example that you just kind of thought about the game to kind of get you through something?
This is a loaded question.
What up, bro?
When I realized that I could translate problems that I was having in real life into a game and using that as a form of free therapy.
Okay.
Because I was able to... It's kind of one of those things where... I think I did that a lot with West, because I normally am very guarded about my feelings about who I am as a person. So I don't like to talk about if somebody's like, how are you? And I'm like, fine, it's fine. And I just shut down the whole conversation because I don't like talking about my feelings at all. That's why I'm paying someone to force me to talk about my feelings. But I realized that having a character like West, I was able to kind of act and speak without pressure, without a filter, a lot easier. Especially because West is a very reactionary character. Like, if he's mad, he'll let you know he's mad. If he's, upset or, happy, he's just, very upfront, very vocal, very, if something that somebody says bothers him, he will immediately call them out. He'll shut them down. He will yell at royalty and almost get
He
killed for
doesn't
it.
like you, he will tell you.
If he doesn't like you, he will tell you. Exactly. Like he's very honest. He's very open, and that's what it was. In that moment, I realized I could kind of learn from that character that was so different from me in a way, but at the same time very similar, because it's the same feelings, same emotions, but just handling them differently than how I normally would.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of writers do that. I assume Dickie also does that as well. Because I know that the Harry Potter game, not so much because it was very rooted in the Harry Potter universe. But for the sake of ReRoll, there's a couple of things that were in there that I was using to try to understand and or cope with how the world is. Not necessarily me per se, but like the world itself. Like there is a very clear establishment on any race who does not walk in the daylight is inherently evil. Like that's reflecting on like the Black Lives Matter movement. There is the orange tyrant that you guys face. Like these are a lot of things that like, how do I express my frustration or anger in a healthy way, and it translated and it just kind of spilled over into the games. But I think a lot of people that have that niche to create will do that.
Yeah, it's a good outlet in a way, I feel.
Yeah. And yes, D&D is cheaper than therapy.
It's way cheaper than therapy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I would disagree.
Looking at this room, looking at everything else outside.
I'm like, yes.
The thousands of dollars I spent on this.
I will say.
Never mind,
okay,
maybe.
better way to put it is
Theater of the mind is cheaper than therapy.
Theater of the mind is way cheaper. No, but D&D I feel definitely helps people come out of their shells in ways that they don't realize.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's in a way its own safe space.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're all a bunch of nerds sitting around a table or computers, eating chips and having fun.
Yeah, and if you're at a table that does not feel safe, don't be at that table. There's plenty of other tables that will gladly take you in. But so here's the last question of the night, as we're at that runtime. Hey yo, bro, what up?
What up?
What does D&C mean to you?
Yeah, Champ, you want to answer this one?
It's a very complicated
Here,
question.
let me hand you the microphone. You can answer this one.
Sure.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay.
Thank you for a rebuttal.
For me, DNC, I guess in a way to put it, it's new opportunities. It's when I first got your DM, I did not expect it. I did not expect to end up at this point, I will say. I just expected to be sitting at a table rolling dice and just, like once a week just to have fun. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I get sucked into yes, sir. I get sucked into this crazy group of people that all love each other so unconditionally and support each other in all of their projects and wanting to better themselves, wanting to create and share their stories with the world and their passions with the world. And at the same time, bringing new people in from like different, time zones.
Yeah.
You're all assholes and I hate you.
Perfect. That's the best way to describe this group. Love it.
We love you too.
We'll end on a high note. All right. We are at that wrap up time. Is there any last minute thing you want to say? Any words of encouragement, of wisdom?
Of wisdom? Oh no, you should not ask me.
What's your favorite baking recipe?
You're not supposed to ask that. You're not supposed to ask that because I don't have one, but I do like making sourdough bread.
Yeah, I read the comic.
Although I did make a wonderful honey cake recipe today for midsummer, so happy summer solstice, everyone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's it. What do you want from
I
me?
guess we're already there.
I'm not a fucking fortune cookie, man.
Happy summer
Actually, wait,
solstice.
hold on. I actually have a good one.
You have fortune cookie?
Len and I were talking about it today.
Okay.
It's some words of wisdom as my dog is yelling at me.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so aggressive? Please calm down, sir. He's telling me it's time for his second scheduled bathroom break.
Oh, yeah.
He has to clock in and out, so I have to get him onto the app to do it.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So words of wisdom that Len and I are taking to heart because the past year and beyond that has been kind of difficult for us.
Mm-hmm.
What with launching a webcomic and dealing with like criticism and people and all that stuff. So we found this quote, and it says, "You will never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone doing less."
You know, bro, I like that a lot.
I really like that too.
I mean, it's not true and it has its fallacies, but I like that a lot.
It's one of those if the shoe fits kind of quotes, you know?
Yeah,
like if
no.
you feel like you can relate to it in that way, then hey, it does something.
I like that. That's really cool. That's that brought a smile to my face and an ease to my heart.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's Vic in the initiative chair. I don't know if anyone has any last minute questions from chat.
I didn't.
Yes.
We didn't tell you, Vic. We were supposed to go like maybe 2 more hours in this initiative.
Oh yeah. We're supposed to. Now you literally have to roll initiative.
Now it's the lightning round. Shit.
Now you have to roll initiative.
We have.
Oh, okay. Hold on. 1 second.
We have people outside with baseball bats.
It's a rock.
It's a rock.
I actually rolled a rock. It just sounded like dice. I just have rocks on hand on my desk.
Just giving just chat a second or two, but yeah. We're gonna be playing some new games.
Yeah.
Completely new games. I mean,
Challenges.
Challenges.
Oh my god, is that another spider? No.
Yay.
There's a spider on my window.
Oh,
That's
it's good. It's gonna.
Oh god.
That's the first challenge.
I have
the spider. Even though the Star Wars game is 5th edition technically, but the more things branching out of just medieval fantasy. So yeah. I believe Trent's next up. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say that with a 80% certainty in my voice. And then I think we have one more guy. That's it for the initiative chairs, and we're just gonna go back to our normal podcast schedule.
Podcast schedule. Is this ever a normal podcast?
Normal's not a word we use around
What's
here very
normal?
often.
That's true.
What is the normal?
Normal? What?
Yeah, normal. It's an NPC's character name. Normal.
Oh, hi, my name's Normal. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to my shop.
We have only
Would you like some Would you like some beaver nuggets?
This here is the bouncing Jesus.
Walk in the Cheers bar.
Normal.
Normal!
Normal.
I feel like that's Orc Death walking into any tavern all across the realm. Everybody just knows him.
It's this place where everyone just knows your name.
Having some rounds.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna end it here. Please take care of one another. Please don't forget to love each other. Be kind to yourself. We'll see you soon. Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.